Welcome back, everyone. The seeds have started growing. Look at the artichokes. Aren't they beautiful? Now these plants will get huge and hopefully I'll have some fruit from it this year. But this is another artichoke. Now I've started several, even though I don't have the room for this many, because sometimes they don't all survive. So I'm hoping to get two out of this whole thing, two plants, and hopefully they'll do well and I'll get artichokes this year. Now I've started some spinach down these rows, and here I have beets. I place them like that so that I can see where they are, because sometimes I forget, and now I have to just push them down a little bit. I'll show you how to do that, but let me show you the type I'm growing. They're organic. I'm not too crazy about the fairy moors, but they were the only organic ones I could find, and I'll give them a try. So what you do is you take your beet seed. Now a beet seed is, it's not the teeniest seed, but in this little seed there are several little plants. So when it sprouts, there'll be several little trees coming out. And what you do is you have to thin them. That means when you have several, you pick the largest one, you leave that one, and you take out the little ones around it, because if not, they're going to compete, and that won't be good. So this is how I plant my beets. You just push them in a little bit. The package says about 1 inch depth, so that's more or less what I'm doing. You know, I try to eyeball it. I don't measure anything. Even when I cook, I don't measure or use measuring cups or anything. I just never learned to cook that way. And believe it or not, because of doing that, I've botched up a lot of things. But that's alright, that's how you learn. So there, my beets are planted. Now, I've used these things in the past and I like them, but they can be pricey. So another cheap alternative is to use craft popsicle sticks. They work just as well. And I'll take a marker and I'll write what it is, and then it'll go whoop in the corner. Now these guys are ready to go into the greenhouse, and the reason I sprout things here, grow them, and move them into the greenhouse, it's so I have more space to start new things. Someday when I get like a potting shed, I'll be able to do all this work outside in my potting shed and then move it to my greenhouse. My husband, God bless him, he's very, very patient with me with my gardening table, and you know, obviously the little mess you make, and you know, I love that he encourages me with this. Plus I also think he likes to eat all the yummy stuff we grow. So over here I started my Chinese cabbage, my Swiss chards. I got more Swiss chard over here. And here I started some Uncle Mark tomatoes. Now I usually don't start tomatoes until March, but these, I'm going to try to grow tomatoes for the first time inside my greenhouse. I'm going to plant them in the ground inside my greenhouse. I've seen people do it. I've never done it, so I want to try and see what happens. But I'm starting them a little early because they're going to be nice and warm in my greenhouse, so I don't know, we'll see what happens. You know, that's a fun thing about gardening. You just try things, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, well, you don't try it again, or you come up with a different way of doing it the following year. But I think so far so good, so we'll see. Now obviously I like to start things from seed, but whatever doesn't grow successfully and I really want to grow, you know, I go to Home Depot or Lowe's and I get little plants. It's better than not having anything at all. And the investment is worth it. You know, if you pay $3 for a tomato plant, look how many tomatoes you're going to get out of it, as opposed to buying the tomatoes in the store. And I do buy tomatoes through the winter in the store, but you know, there's nothing like homegrown. When you pick it outside from the vine and it's nice and warm, oh, the flavor's just, it's intense. So this is an update. Let me know what you guys are doing, if anyone else has started anything. I'm curious to know. God bless.